What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Harrison, and today we're talking about Tears of the Kingdom and how Twitter is on fire right now. They can't make up their minds if Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is doing well or if it's not doing well. So I want to talk about it. Again, I love doing like these discussion videos and just kind of asking people how they feel about the game. And obviously, at the end of the day, like sales do matter, but whether or not like that doesn't take away your personal enjoyment of the game and whether or not it was your game of the year or game of the decade, however you want to classify it in your own, in your own personal video game space. So this, I'm going to pull up Twitter here real quick. This comes from Pierre485 over on Twitter. Go check out, he did a really good deep dive of the financial report from Nintendo. Talks about a lot of other games too. So if you want to see all the stuff, go look at his Twitter page and go through all that stuff. But we're talking about Tears of the Kingdom. So Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has sold over 20.8 million copies, adding 190,000 units this quarter. It's the second best seller in the franchise. More than 40% of Zelda games were made on Nintendo Switch, which is insane. It's like a 35-year-old franchise plus, and most of it has been sold on the Switch. That's absolutely insane. Then we're going to scroll down and talk about Breath of the Wild, and this is where people are kind of like losing their minds over it. So Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild in the same quarter sold another 200,000 units, which is 10,000 more units than Tears of the Kingdom. Keep in mind, the Switch version is now over 32.05 million copies. Together with the Wii U edition, the game surpasses 33.76 million units sold. So that's where people are kind of losing their mind. And I understand where people are coming from because, I mean, back in September when we got the financial reports, Tears of the Kingdom was at like 20. It was like a 19 or 20 million, right? I think it was at 20 million. So all the sales for Tears of the Kingdom are like upfront. Everybody that wanted to get Tears of the Kingdom got it when it first came out. And in the grand scheme of things, not a lot has sold between then and now. After the September reporting. So I get where people are a little bit concerned about Tears of the Kingdom and its kind of overall lifetime on the Switch. But at the end of the day, I mean, Nintendo is happy with Tears. Yeah, would they want to have to sell more? Of course, everybody wants their games to sell more. But I don't think Tears of the Kingdom is like cooked or anything like that. I think it's doing just fine. I think it's going to continue to be an evergreen title for Nintendo, just like Breath of the Wild was. But you also got to keep in mind, Breath of the Wild was there. I mean, there were some other games for the Switch when it launched back in 2017, but Breath of the Wild was the game. I mean, you guys remember the reports that Breath of the Wild sold more copies than there were Switches out there. So this game has been, it's been on the market for 7 years. So we got to keep that in mind, right? That of course is going to have a lot more. It's just been an absolute incredible evergreen title for Nintendo. It's had so much great word of mouth. When someone says, "What should I get for my Nintendo Switch?" You get Breath of the Wild, right? And then if someone were to still say, "Hey, what game should I get on the Switch?" Start with Breath of the Wild, and then if you like that game, if you love that game, pick up the sequel, Tears of the Kingdom. But I think you should play Breath of the Wild first. That's just my personal opinion. It's a sequel to a game. I think it makes sense to play the first one first. Obviously, you don't really have to, but I think a lot of people are probably looking that way and say, "Oh, there's a sequel to this Zelda game. Let me go ahead and play the first one first, and then I might pick up Tears of the Kingdom, later on." That could absolutely be the case. But again, I still think Tears of the Kingdom is going to be a great evergreen title. So I think people can just need to chill. Like just chill out. Sales aren't everything. It doesn't take away your enjoyment. It doesn't have to be the best-selling Zelda game in the world. At this point, I don't think Tears of the Kingdom is going to surpass Breath of the Wild, but I mean, it could. In a couple of years, it could absolutely surpass Breath of the Wild. It's got to sell, almost 14 more million copies, but I mean, anything's possible. Anything's possible on the Nintendo Switch. Anything's possible with the Zelda, I believe. So, and we also got to look at, because I know, if Zelda Echoes of Wisdom doesn't sell like an insane amount, people are also going to be saying the same thing. Oh, Zelda's cooked. People don't like Zelda anymore. I don't think Echoes of Wisdom is going to sell anywhere near close to Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. I think it's probably going to top maybe at like 10 million, maybe a little bit more. But you got to look at like Skyward Sword. You know, I think that's sold 4 million plus, so it's not like a huge seller when it comes to like Nintendo's biggest sellers on their platform, like Smash Brothers and Mario Kart and Animal Crossing. So it's a smaller game. It's just not quite on par with what, you know, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are. These big scale games. So I think it's okay. I think Tears of the Kingdom is going to be okay. I think Nintendo is very happy with how Tears of the Kingdom performed. Yeah, I mean we're at the end of the life on the Switch. There hasn't been a price drop. I think there's one going to be coming in for the holiday season. I think it's going to be a permanent price drop, and it's still insane that we're in the 8th year of the Switch and it's never had an official price drop. Also, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is $70 versus Breath of the Wild, which is usually 60, but it's on sale all the time for 40. So that can also be a major factor when someone new is getting a Nintendo Switch. They might not want to drop $70. You know, I haven't done the research, but like a lot of Nintendo fans that maybe only play on Nintendo maybe aren't used to that $70 price range. Maybe they just didn't want to spend that much money. I don't know. I have no idea. So those are the factors. I mean, and also, like I said before, you know, Switch 2 is on the horizon, so sales are going to start to become flat for the Switch, and they have. And really all kind of the major consoles right now are all kind of like flat, but you know, the Switch is, you know, it's going down, but it has a big upswing with what the Switch 2 can hopefully deliver a great product. So I think we're okay. All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll let YouTube algorithm pick one of my videos below for you guys to watch. Give it a click, and I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in the next video.